I was scrolling a couple hours ago on Twitter when I got out of my slave labor job. I was slaving for the white man. I saw this post pop up on my feed. I mean, I searched it up just now because I lost it earlier. But I saw idubbz pop up. I was like, what the fuck is this? No idea who idubbz even was until today. But I heard he lets his wife get fucked on OnlyFans by other men. So he should probably sit this one out like he does in the bathroom. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on in the beef? Like, what's going on? Oh, what the fuck? Okay, well, I can't. I gotta censor that. But turns out idubbz made a video on this guy. Are you scared of immigrants? And I guess he's like trying to kind of, I don't know what the term is, like whistleblow or do something. So I was like, I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm not gonna lie. He makes a lot of good points, but a lot of kind of shitty points too. Some of the stuff here I just kind of don't agree with, but just figured I'd give it a watch.
I am coming to you live. Today's episode of idubbz Complains is all about immigration and xenophobia.
What's the problem with xenophobic nationalism?
And racism.
Personally, I don't think there's anything bad with being, I mean, xenophobic. Like, all these words are just fucking so stretched to fit every little narrative. I mean, I feel like a country should have the right to not want certain people in it, want some people in it, or just not want any people at all. Just because, like, bro, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your household, against invaders or bad people. I don't think there's any one country that's bad. I think, aside from India, India's disgusting, but...
And TikTok, and the TikTokification of...
Yeah, I mean, like, this is India, honestly. This isn't what's going on in Palestine or Israel. This is literally India. That looks like chunks of a dead body right there. Like, that's fucking
xenophobia.
goulash on the floor.
The interest in this topic was spurred on from a guy named Kurt Kaz. Now, this guy, Kurt Kaz, he is a travel vlogger. So you would...
So yeah, like, he just does travel. That's all he does.
Think with all of the traveling around...
He's, like, pretty base, but I mean, like, he's, like, he coexists. Like, he goes to their places, and he chills and he interacts with them. He tries to have positive, interactions with them. You can definitely be very, very conservative and still be very, like, friendly
in the world. That would really open your mind to different cultures, different ways of life, and how we're all just people trying to live. But unfortunately, he's a great example of how you can travel the world, and as long as your mind is fucking closed, everything you see is just gonna confirm your biases.
Confirming your bias. Dude, yeah, I mean, look, you shouldn't let one thing... Definitely don't let one thing, like, that you are exposed to just, like, throw you off. Like, hey, I go and I see something disgusting and it's all shit. But, I mean, like, he does go to the shittiest parts of the world, and he shows how shitty, which I guess it could be a good thing, because, I mean, it just kind of shows how shitty. Like, there's actual people that live. Like, this looks like a nice street.
Look at this. Look at the...
Bro, what the fuck was that? Like, what did he just throw? Hold on.
Look at the fucking state of this.
That's disgusting, bro. That's disgusting. I hate how people will literally be standing and just breathing, and they'll find something to pick off at their skin and just toss in the street. That's disgusting to me. That's actually fucking nasty, bro.
Look at the fucking state of the city.
Yeah, I mean, you see the graffiti, you see all that shit. It's crowded, but I mean, a lot of cities in the US are crowded, so I mean, that's not really a big deal. But I mean, you see all the graffiti and shit like here. The buildings are old. I'm not really gonna judge off that, but that shit is disgusting.
This is Rome, guys.
Like the Casbah.
This looks like in Bangladesh or something. Look at this.
Okay, not gonna lie, I thought that was fucking India, bro. India or fucking like some Southeast Asian country. That's actually kind of crazy.
Guys.
What do you mean, or something? I would like to hear more, but you're just saying it looks like Bangladesh. Is that because there's people from
Yeah, that looks like fucking Bangladesh. That looks like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was like India, some area like that where a bunch of brown people are living at. I mean, I'm brown skin too, but it's like, those are browner than me. Yeah, that kind of looks like India.
Bangladesh here? Or are you just assuming where people are from? There's a lot of people with brown skin in the world, and they don't all come from Bangladesh.
I mean, that's true, but if you want to say that hey, a lot of brown people in the world, honestly, this like these places right here, Africa has a huge population, and India has like that part of the world is like insanely congested. Like, I mean, we can search up here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. That's fucking insane, dude. That's crowded as shit, bro. Why is there so many brown people in Europe? What the fuck? I mean, no, hold on. Why is there so many people in? Damn, I guess Europe is fucking congested. But whatever. Okay, I'm kind of schizoed a little second. Yeah, I mean, you can see why there's a lot of. That's where brown people are along the equator. I mean, yeah. I mean, that kind of does.
And
I'm Mexican, and I honestly wouldn't think that that's Mexico. Sorry, not sorry.
they don't all come from Bangladesh. I don't
They
know, do they
probably
have
do.
fresh fruit and vegetables in
They probably do come
Bangladesh?
from
I mean,
Bangladesh.
that's one indication it might look like Bangladesh. I've seen this guy's videos, by the way. He goes to Bangladesh.
Okay, thank you. Right. Wow, it is madness.
He's gone to a random farmer's market where the population of immigrants is a bit high.
The market is the genuine Roman international model. Many people are just gonna sell at the market. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a supermarket or farmers market. I mean, that's like here in the U.S. That's like, it's like considered very like millennial liberal. Like nowadays, like, oh, like we're gonna go to farmers market. That's where all the rich people go to buy food, which is kind of crazy because growing up, the farmers market was like where all the Asians and Mexicans and like brown people and colored people sold food and all that kind of stuff. Which is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Higher than other places in the city, and he's saying, yeah,
I think they should be allowed to have a business or anything that like that they want. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's like clean, safe, damn, right as hell, sanitary, all that kind of stuff. So.
we're in fucking Bangladesh.
Look at the state of this place.
You sweaty as shit.
You mind telling us what the state is?
Look at the fucking state.
Yeah, honestly, if you told me that this was fucking Rome, I would not believe. Just because I've never been to Rome. I don't live anywhere near there. I have no idea. All I know of Rome is that, it's Europe, what they want to tell them, what they want us to know.
Of the city. Look at the state of this place. Look at this, guys. Look at this.
But I don't know what the state is. I need you.
Dude, it just looks run down. I mean, you can go down to freaking South Atlanta and you can see shit like that, and that's
the
run
vlogger
down.
to tell me what the state is.
You should be able to know. Dude, come on. Don't try to act like you don't see this shit and then you're like, oh.
Look at the state of this place.
The dirty buildings, all that shit isn't disgusting.
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
But I don't know what the state is.
That looks
I
like
need
Bangladesh.
you,
Sorry.
the vlogger, to tell me what the state is.
Look at this, guys. This is Rome. This is Europe. Does this look like Europe to you?
Not really.
Yes, it looks like Europe to me.
Nah.
What the fuck else are we?
Dude, that does not look like Europe, bro. Who the fuck thinks this is? I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3. Bro, I don't see anything that tells me that this is Europe. You honestly, you could tell me this is Town Center Mall in Kennesaw, and I would 100% believe you because the diversity here is different. But yeah, come on, bro. Let's not act like we don't know what Europe is supposed to look like, bro.
Gather from this video, it's like this guy. This is so obnoxious. A lot of these guys that we're gonna look at, they have an idea in their head of what European culture is. Their idea.
Yeah, we know what European culture is. It's written on books. We know kind of what to do. We know what Mexican culture is, bro. We know what African culture is. I hate this idea that because it's white, there is no culture, or that there shouldn't be a set culture, or, I mean, come on, bro. Like, everybody knows that Europe has a culture, dude. Like, what? You go to Germany, they have a culture. You go to Ireland, they have a culture. Like, dude, this isn't... Just because it's white doesn't mean that they don't have a culture, and that there shouldn't be an idea of what culture they have.
Of these things is like a caricature. It is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think about Italy. I mean, that's pretty much, if you've seen The Sopranos, you basically know what Italy's like.
I had a dream I fucked your brains out. Right on that desk.
Is like a postcard. It is not like what they're actually experiencing on a daily basis. What are these people doing on a regular basis? Selling and buying.
Yeah, like that's an Asian right there. Like you can tell that's an Asian. Yeah, that's an Asian right there.
In a market. And he's saying, this isn't Europe. I'm not seeing any.
That's not Europe. Now I get it. It's a farmer's market. I'm guessing if Rome now, which is kind of damn, Rome has fallen. If Rome is little India, little Asia, I guess there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, it's more so like a population density. If there's a lot of people there, that's where they form their communities, and you know, so be it. I mean, there's little Mexicos here, just little ways. Like, I mean, go to some parts north of Atlanta, there's like just Asian cities. I mean, that's just how it is.
White cheese vendors. This is not.
Yeah, that's probably
nothing like Europe. This is nothing like Rome.
I don't see a single Italian here, guys. I am more Italian than any of these people. Look at this.
I don't see a single Italian here.
I don't see a single Italian here, guys. I am more Italian than any of these people.
Okay, dude. What the fuck are they? What the fuck are these
bruh? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let him finish and see what he says.
people living in Italy? What does an Italian look like?
Yeah, bro, stop.
You don't see an Italian? What are they?
Dude, you don't even, like, I swear to God, bro. Italian. I could literally Google Italian. I'm not even Googling Italian person. Italian.
Are they gonna wear a name tag? Yeah, my name's Riccardo, the Italian. Maybe instead of saying, I don't see any Italians here, you can fucking ask any of these people who are most certainly Italian.
Dude, those are not Italians, bro. No. I mean, I'm brown skin. I don't consider myself fully American. I am Mexican American, bro. We have black people here that are African American. Okay, now I get it. America is different, whatever. But dude, like, that's not an Italian, bro. That's not. That is a black person, bro. You see the dreads. No, that's Italian. That's not
if they're
Italian.
Italian. I might not look like Mario, but I'm Italian. I know, it's hard to believe.
I am more Italian than any of these people.
By the way, guys, his clothing brand is called Conquest. He's a white South African.
Wait, what?
Making travel vlogs that are vaguely xenophobic. And his clothing brand...
No, that's crazy, bro. Conquest. No, so he's definitely got the red pill. I mean, you know, that whole situation going on in South Africa, it's not that good. But
it is called Conquest. We got to retire one of those things at least. I would recommend...
But honestly, you see, I wouldn't even have known that this guy is South African, because what I expect a South African to look like is black. If I were to ever go to Africa, I would expect to see black people. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'd be pretty upset if I saw a bunch of white people in a white town. I would be pretty upset. I'm not gonna lie.
The xenophobic part, but you could also change the conquest part as well. You know, at least one.
Saying that the streets is dangerous.
Sono pericolosi.
Perché?
Perché hanno I coltelli tutti quanti, I maceti.
Maceti?
Sì, loro.
Look at all these guys.
Non fatti vedere troppo.
Look at all the shit on the floor. And here they are, just loitering. Very dangerous, he's saying.
Se passo là io adesso, sono un centinaio, mi caricano, sicuro.
Yeah, I mean, pointing stuff like this out is not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. When a lot of people, I'm guessing these people are refugees, immigrants, stuff like that. They don't understand what's going on. We know how disgusting India is, but that's because that's just how it is as a country. That's just how their culture is. And we don't expect, you know, Americans, Europeans to go over there and change. Oh, like, hey, we're going to change India. We're going to go clean up India and tell them that they shouldn't do this because it's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. That's just how they are. And I mean, they are the larger number, so they get a say, you know, just democracy, bro. The bigger number will always win. You can't expect these people that live here to put up with newcomers that are being allowed to come in, because that are being allowed to come in. You can't expect them to be like, oh yeah, they're bringing all this shit in here, but it's cool, you know. Like, dude, that's disgusting. This is some Austell Road gas station. Like, bro, there's packages on the floor. All that shit, disgusting. Oriental mini market, that's crazy.
So this is the part of the video where they really up the levels of propaganda. They start you off softly implying by just showing you like this isn't like the
Honestly, I'm gonna hold on. Let me Google. So, yeah, I mean, this is the ruins. I expect the ruins to look like ruins. Again, it's a historical city. Damn, my nose is I'm so congested, bro. But it's like, I wouldn't expect, these places look clean. They look clean. Traffic, it's expected. But dude, it's no, damn, why the fuck is in 2024? God, that's dirty as hell, bro. Okay. Anyways, back to the video. I mean, yeah, I expect it to look like that. Pretty and nice and clean and not disgusting like this.
postcards of Europe that you see. You guys have history class. You never saw pictures like this. You saw beautiful things like the Colosseum, but now you have to see immigrants. And then you get to this guy who's like, oh,
Which is nothing wrong like that. Honestly, I would expect there to be, I mean, it's, the capital. Almost basically the capital.
right, now that I've primed you, I'm going to tell you how dangerous this street is that's adjacent to the farmer's market. Never mind the fact that none of you have any idea what this market is, what this street is. He's just going to act like
1 Rome Street, Italy. Yeah.
like he's an authority on the matter and vaguely imply that it's an immigrant problem and not a poverty problem. But
those could go hand in hand. I mean, they're poor because they're coming in. They're really only coming in because they're poor. There's really no other reason why somebody would want to leave their home country. For the most part, like 80%. Nobody would want to really leave their own home country where they grew up, where their family has been there for generations, unless it's out of necessity. And when they're in necessity, they're poor. They're poor. It's because they're immigrants, bro. I mean, that's the facts. Being ignorant to that is kind of stupid. I don't know why.
by the way, when I was editing this, I found the rest of this clip. He ends up leaving the marketplace and they go to some random public area.
Bro, that fucking little sticker, that's base.
And harass some people who are just minding their own business, talking about how he's from Europe and he's more Italian than these people. I think he mentions Africa at one point.
We're in Italy. We are in Europe. We are not in Africa. Get away from me. Okay. This is my country. Yeah, Europe. Are you from Europe? I'm from Europe.
Oh no, Europe is being overrun. Someone save Europe. Now, these videos themselves are very bad, but when you go into the comment section, you realize how many people these bad ideas are attracting. Samantha says, import third world, get third world. Well, these are not imports. These are human beings. But if you're referring to, there being a farmer.
I mean, they technically are. I mean, they could be imports. Countries will sometimes take in people, encourage them to come in. I mean, there's you denying it is kind of, or just saying that it's not an actual thing, which I'm not saying he's saying, but saying that it's not an actual thing is kind of crazy. Don't ignore the facts. I mean, it's a possibility. There's always a chance.
Market. That's kind of a first world thing. That's just called a regular market everywhere else. So yeah, you're wrong and you're also stupid. This is what the liberals want in America. Yeah, and they're getting it. They're
Hey, I mean, like I said, if that's the bigger number, I mean, that's gonna happen.
Getting their farmers markets and they're loving their farmers markets. Thank you for making this content and
Which, I mean, I was gonna say, farmers market, it's always been like, now it is a liberal thing. Back then it was a, not saying liberals are bad, but,
hopefully waking up the European people. Oh yeah, this is something that you're going to see a lot, is people just sort of, when it benefits them, they will invoke the continent of Europe, and when it doesn't benefit them, they'll be very specific and say, oh, this is a real problem in the UK. This is a real problem in Rome. Europe is,
I mean, Europe is so freaking tight, bro, and it's not that, it's so tight knit, dude. It's not a huge place. I really don't know what the point of that statement is. I'm not really understanding it, but
Rome has fallen again. Oh man, yeah. Farmers markets will be the end of Rome,
dude. I don't think that's farmers market is the main reason. I would probably say the litter, the trash, the graffiti, probably. And even if the graffiti is done locally by the dumbass citizens in there, that's still their own people. That's still I would still probably say like, yeah, our society's like this. Yeah, we probably have fallen. It's Jover. But I would probably say if a place has never really had people with running with knives and machetes, and now they do, and it's when these people start moving in, and then they see that pattern, they recognize it, and then they're like, oh, well, shit's fallen. You could probably say shit's fallen.
This is what America would be if Trump didn't put a stop to it. Yeah, and how's that working out? Import third world, become third world. I don't like.
Yeah.
How's that working out? Oh man, yeah, farmers markets will be the end of Rome. This is what America would be if Trump didn't put a stop to it.
This is what America would be. I gotta kind of read it for myself too. I mean, bro, let's be honest, bro. Trump is sucking up the Jewish cock. I mean, he's probably just gonna end up having. Then we know who's sucking up all the Jewish cock. It's Indians. I mean, at some point we're gonna be run over with Indians. That's just inevitable.
Yeah, and
American veteran detained for 3 days. Yeah,
and
that's insane.
how's that working out? Import third
But to be fair, let's not act like this isn't just an America thing.
world, become third world.
Which is true. These people, if you're not educating the new people coming in, if you're not educating the new citizens coming in, the people that want to stay there and reside there forever or even temporary, if you're not letting them know, like, hey, you have to, I feel like, I don't think it's a bad thing to force people to be educated in the country that they're going to come into. I mean, I think that would be a pretty good thing, especially with the language barrier, the society, neighbors, it's good. That's good. It's probably good for in the long run to help reduce poverty.
I don't like. I just came back from Rome, and yes, it was bad. Scammers and graffiti everywhere.
Which is true. I mean, just off what we saw, for me, who's never been there, yeah, it's pretty true.
I'm not even Italian, and it makes me sad.
It makes me sad too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I go to Italy, I understand that I will be seeing other tourists, but I really don't want to see Indians everywhere I go. I don't want to see Africans everywhere I go. I don't want to see Mexicans everywhere I go. I want to meet Italians, ask them about their country that they know about for centuries. I don't want to go and see a Chinese person in Italy and because they're not going to know anything about it. Like, I want to meet people that know their history.
Well, don't let your racism affect you too much. For all you know, the Italians are loving it. This looks like Toronto as well. Unfortunately,
that's crazy, bro. Toronto is like fucking little India.
Same in the UK, even worse. RIP Europe and UK. They're ruining Canada and the UK right now. Oh
which they probably are, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
my God, we finally found a sensible comment. Every city, state, country has its international sections, i.e. Chinatown, Japantown, Little Armenia, etc. There's nothing wrong with diversity.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with this. It's same here in Georgia, everywhere else. Like, it's everywhere. There's always going to be in the majority, the entire state, where like a big population, a big number of certain, ethnic groups, racial groups outweighs, the native people there. We'll say the people that were native there. I mean, they're bound to make their little society that, shadows everything else, which is not a bad thing. I don't know why I'm making it sound like it's evil, but it's not.
You happen to be in an international flea market. This is Rome is a false statement.
It's good.
It's just a block.
That shows that it's kind of nourishment, especially when it's, it's Chinatown. I mean, everybody knows good food, nice stores, same,
Not the state of the city. Okay, shout out Jack, the man. You just brought the heat. They turn every place they go into the place that they left. I think some people have a selfish mindset in thinking that because they themselves wouldn't leave the country that they were born in or have become accustomed to, that other people wouldn't do that. And if they are doing that, they're doing it for sinister reasons. It's just like a basic human thought to be like, they're doing it for sinister reasons.
I gotta re-listen to
Mindset in
this.
thinking that because they themselves wouldn't leave the country that they were born in or have become accustomed to, that other people wouldn't do that. And if they are doing that, they're doing it for sinister reasons. It's just like a basic human thought to be like, I want to bring some of my culture into the place that I'm traveling to, that I'm now going to start my new life in. And of course, it's going to be these places that are desirable to go to and that are very multicultural. There's a reason.
Which is true. It's a tourist town. I will say this: poverty. It will unfortunately come with these groups of people. They can, you know, overcome that. But I mean, whenever you go to, just like tourist towns, it's always going to be pretty expensive. It's always very expensive. It's always very expensive for the native people that live in that area, especially like in Mexican areas like that, for tourist towns, for them to live in their own towns. It's crazy.
Why people are referencing Canada and the UK. It's because people who are immigrating to these countries like these countries. They like that their culture is either already kind of established there, and there are foods and routines and places to go and people to meet that are going to allow them to integrate better into the society.
Like you said, integrate better. Like, yeah, that means, like, I'm thinking assimilate, like, become part. Not really like move over your entire being, move over an entire chunk of India and just move it into Canada or the UK. Like, that's the issue. That's why people are getting mad. They're losing their, average day. And the issue is that this stuff isn't really happening. It happens, it's happened in the US, but it's happened through hundreds of years, decades. And this stuff is just happening within the last really 4, 5, 6 years.
Okay, we got another comment. It says,
I mean, if you really think about it, we do it here in America too. When we get mad that liberals are moving in and they're turning the cities into liberal, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your home and really being selfish. I mean, I wouldn't say it's selfish. I would say it's protective. Everybody, I mean, like we do the same thing like with neighborhoods. When the liberals come in, they start changing everything, or the Republicans, vice versa. It's not just a country.
World is getting pretty racist. And this person responds with, you can't go into a new country and overtake it like this. You assimilate into their culture. They're also ruining property. So in no way is it racist. It's a pattern. After watching that video, a little while later, I started getting more content that was adjacent to that. This time in the form of Robin bagpipes.
So, like, yeah, pattern recognition, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Later, sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm coming over, I'm not expecting to take 100% of my culture over there. I'm taking, like he just said, chunks, like bits of it, parts of it. I'm not expecting to turn Rome into Little Delhi. Like that would be terrible, bro. Like, I'm just assuming that first of all, because I'm already coming in as a guest. I'm already assuming that when I go there, and everybody else is gonna be okay with like fucking curry and shit like that. They're not going to. A lot of them aren't going to. Like, I don't know why, expecting them to assimilate appropriately is a bad thing. I don't know.
We're also ruining property, so in no way is it racist. It's a pattern. After watching that video, a little while later, I started getting more content that was adjacent to that, this time in the form of Robin bagpipes.
I am proud of European culture. I will not show embarrassment around European culture, and I will continue to spread European culture.
You might be taking a lot of credit here by saying that you're spreading European culture. You'll notice that a lot of people going into the UK and a lot of Mexicans going into the US, they're not doing this shit. They're literally just living their lives.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's right. Not 100% of them, but the thing is, the ones that do it are loud as hell. I don't like that, bro. I don't want to hear your car blasting. I don't want to hear your rap music, your mumbo jumbo blasting, your reggaeton, whatever the fuck. I don't want to hear that shit blasting. I don't. This is pretty cringe what he's doing. It's pretty cringe, I'm not gonna lie, because
and I think a lot of
honestly,
people like
it looks like he's in India doing that. So I mean, yeah.
Like Robin bagpipes, perhaps see, I don't know, Muslim people wearing hijabs or Indian culture being expressed or any of these like foreign cultures and religious traditions, and they think to themselves, oh, this is performative. This would be like me dressing up in my full Scottish regalia and marching down the streets playing my bagpipe in India.
Well, you got to think about it. Religion is pretty important. You know, like you can't like what he's saying is, I mean, people wearing hijabs and out in public is like, they're being performative. They're trying to be aggressive with, there's nothing wrong. I personally don't believe there's anything wrong with that. But once they start making everybody else, forcing everybody else, or, encouraging people to, hey, make this the new norm instead of, hey, this is something that you can do if you want, instead of making it the new norm. That's the issue. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the Middle East and start trying to preach, giving people the option to be Christian, it's not going to end well for you. You're probably going to get your head cut off.
It's like, that's not what it is at all. The immigrants going to your country of Scotland or wherever else, they're literally just trying to live.
Which is kind of crazy because they're leaving the Middle East, which is supposed to be like they're pretty like which I would kind of don't understand. If everybody there is part of the religion that you are, and you're in your pretty much peak, I want to say, why would you come over here to really just? I really don't understand that.
And you interpreting their culture as like this exuberant display, or them bringing the third world to your country, is just
because again, there's really no need for them to come over here unless they're coming in because there's war, there's terror happening in their home, which is what's going on. Nobody wants to leave their home. Most people do not want to leave their home unless they have to, unless they're kicked out. And I'm not talking about like just your home, like obviously you leave it once you're like grown and whatnot. But I'm talking about like your territory, your areas. You don't really want to leave that and then just, hey, I'm gonna leave the United States and go and start over in India. I've never heard of anybody wanting to do that. That's not
ignorant.
normal.
He says, I brought cultural enrichment back to European markets. I love this British market.
You don't have to pretend to be anyone.
He is performing for these Indian people. It's very interesting to them. And instead of owning the fact that this is a great way to spread your culture and also get views online, he's deciding to bring this sort of disgusting xenophobic element to all of his content.
If you hate your own country so much that you want this to replace it, that there's something seriously wrong with you, follow me around the world. You want to spread European culture.
Because I think it's like it caught my attention, and I'm sure it caught a lot of people's attention because of the contrast.
Which is why, again, if I go to Europe, I expect it to be Europe. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see here, bro. I mean, if I go to Europe, that's what I want to see. I want to see if I go to wherever this is, Scotland or whatever, that's what I want to see. I don't want to hear fucking Hindu music blasting.
You don't often see the little ginger kid in India playing his bagpipes.
My baby don't mess around.
They hate it, and I absolutely love it. Well, you don't know what they hate.
Yeah, that's pretty lame. I don't know why you would like enjoy that. They don't like it.
It seems like they're very much interested in it. I mean, if you love it so much, then you might want to take up bagpiping culture because obviously it's being, overrun by immigrants. He's fighting for his culture. No. You think this guy's wearing this shit every day? He's putting on a show for you. That's what he's doing. He's not fighting for shit. His culture is probably wearing some blue jeans and eating a cheeky Nando's. That's probably his culture. And, I don't blame him for it, right? That's closer to my culture. I brought cultural enrichment back to European markets. And you have people genuinely confused saying, is this really somewhere in Europe? They don't know.
It's probably not.
So it's a double whammy. You can say that this is what Europe looks like, but then simultaneously, you're not in fucking Europe. So you're fear-mongering, but you're actually also just lying to people.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no good benefit in bullshitting something like that, dude. There's no.
But you can say, oh, I'm not lying. I'm just being satirical. But is it really that satirical? It's not. What are you satirizing? The fact that
I mean, he's satirizing the fact that, hey, like nowadays it's believable, but I mean, dude, there's nothing good that comes out of lying. That's just lame.
immigrants exist in your country? Or is it the fact that too many immigrants exist in your country? Or is it the fact that a specific type of immigrant exists in your country? Because you need to be a lot less generally racist to be able to pull off satire. White race, heart, heart, heart emoji. Do this more, please. Show the world what white culture is.
Damn, I'm on my Britney shit. Oops, I hit again.
No,
He's
that's
also
what he
doing
said.
this disgusting AI content where it says Indian jumps into dirty water.
Some of the Indian stereotypes really are true.
Bro,
It
that
is
is fucking
AI,
crazy.
Guys. Chill.
Nah,
And then you
like honestly, I would believe that, dude. There's no reason. Yeah, I would probably
It
believe
is
that.
AI, guys. Chill. And then you read the description and it says, I love Indians, some of the friendliest, funniest, warmest people I met on my travels.
Which can be true. When you meet them on your travels, and you, especially if you go to their home countries, people are always going to be very, very happy to see you trying to learn something from them, trying to take some of their information and show that you accept their culture and that you interest. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. People are always going to like that for the most part, unless you're like fucking living in Sentinel Island and they're just going to kill you no matter what. But
Then you go to the comments and he likes the comment saying it's not AI. It is so cowardly, right? Because it is one, not acknowledging that there is already so much racism towards Indians on the internet and in the country that you're coming
which there is, I'm not gonna lie, there is, there definitely is.
from. It is perpetuating so many negative, awful stereotypes. And then you're using AI to fabricate something that didn't fucking happen, but many people will interpret is real. And then you go to his page and you realize all of his videos are basically about tearing down and shitting on Indian culture.
What the fuck? That is crazy, bro.
And not really
that's
even
crazy.
propping up Scottish culture. It's more about saying that Scottish culture is European culture. Very bizarre.
I am proud of European culture. I will not show embarrassment for European culture. And I will continue to the world. I'm proud of you.
We've heard from a South African and we've heard from a Scottish. Now we're going to hear from a Canadian. I'm talking Mr. Nelk.
This might be very controversial. Actually, I can't say it. This is the way I'll say it. Tim Hortons, if I walk into a shawarma restaurant, I don't want to see a white person serving me. Does that make sense? Yeah, 100%. If I walk into a shawarma restaurant and I see a white person serving me, I don't want it. So you can figure out the other side. If I see a white person in there, I'm fucking out. And Tim Hortons, you can figure out the other side.
Listen, Mr. Jelk, it is still racist when you're using white people as the example for you to make the racist statement. I want white people to be cooking their white people food and brown people to be cooking their brown people food. That's weird. We don't like that, all right?
I mean, not trying to be contrarian, because I understand where he's coming from. They can definitely do it right, but let's be honest. White people make some good white people food. Black people make some good black people food. I mean, that doesn't even have to be questioned. I think specifically like in fast food places, yeah. I mean, I've never been. I don't really have enough knowledge of Tim Hortons. I don't know. That sounds like dog shit, but.
By the way, it's Tim Hortons, not Hortons.
Tim Hortons,
What the hell is that?
if I walk into a shawarma restaurant and I see a white person serving me, I don't want it. So you can figure out the other side.
This is the type of rhetoric you hear from conservative dads and grandfathers. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Do I want a
That's probably somebody's dad. That's
white
crazy,
guy
dude.
making my Kung Pao chicken? No. Hell no, right? That's me saying fuck you to the white guy. You know, it's not about race. You know, I don't want white people cooking, I don't know, tamales. You think if I go to Japan, they're just gonna welcome me into the #1 sushi restaurant in the world? Probably not. Probably not. And would you say that they're racist because of that? Probably not. Probably not.
It's like if you walk into an Italian restaurant, you want Italian serving you.
I am more Italian than any of these people.
Dude, back in the day, when I used to go to Tim Hortons every fucking
Nah,
day,
I'm not gonna lie. If I went to an Italian restaurant in Italy, I want to be served by an Italian. I want to be served by fucking Mario himself, bro. I don't want to be served by some fucking African or some Indian or some Mexican, bro. I don't care.
I get a bagel and cream cheese with
But it's just cringe hearing it from somebody that's, you know, just keeps saying it over and over. You don't have to, it's an unspoken rule. You don't have to keep saying it, bro. Just like,
everything, and they'd put the cream cheese on both sides. Now what they do is they take the scooper and they fucking put it on one side and they fucking clap it like this. It's bullshit.
You're describing this generally low-skilled job as like some high cuisine. If someone fucks up half of your Tim Hortons order, it's still Tim Hortons.
What does chat think? My Canadians, back me up.
Unfortunately for everyone who backed him up in chat, you are, I regret to inform you, racist.
You're not really, bro. And it's not because you hate them. It's not because you hate them or anything like that. It's because, personally, I mean, you're paying money. You want it to be good. You expect it to be good, especially when you're paying money. I mean, it's not going to be good 100% of the time. It should be as close to it. But if, again, pattern recognition, if I go to a Mexican restaurant, especially a Mexican fast food restaurant, which, I mean, bro, there's none. I mean, that's just because, you know, other than Taco Bell, but, bro, there's no, that's like American, bro. Like, if I, you know, come on, dude, it's pattern recognition. I mean, I shouldn't have to say it. Acting like it's not an actual thing or that it's not true, it's pretty
Gone
blasphemous.
downhill. And I want to rep Canada and I want to rep Tim Hortons, but like I don't really rep Tim Hortons like that no more.
We do not care, Dr. Joke. You can take that repackaged boomer racism somewhere else because we're not buying. This guy's my fucking age. Bagpipes seems a little bit younger, which is even a little bit more troubling. And then the Conquest guy, they're my age, and I fucking look at them and I'm like, you fuckers are traveling to different countries. You need to be the change. You can be a bro and not be racist. You can.
I agree with that. You could definitely be changed, but look, the young people should be the change. But again, you're going to other people's countries. You are not expected. You should not expect yourself to change other people's countries because it's not going to happen. And this is what he's not understanding. I can't go to India and expect to change India, bro. I can't go to Japan and expect to change Japan because I shouldn't. I have no right to do that. So I'm not sure what he's saying, just like the overall vision, but if that's what he's showing, that's what he's showing. I definitely agree with, if I was to go to the shittiest part of India, which, okay, if I was going to go to the shittiest part of Europe and say like, hey, this is all of Europe, that's pretty fucked up. If I was going to go like the shittiest part of China and say like, hey, this is all China, that's pretty messed up. All of shitty.
Make a
India
beer company and not be racist. It's totally possible. In closing, I want to speak to all of the people who buy into this rhetoric. There's nothing to fear. You know, people in other countries are just humans living their lives, trying to exist. And when they go to your country, they're also just trying to exist. And it's not a fight. It's not a war.
I agree. They're just trying to exist, but they are fighting for their lives. I mean, they're coming into somewhere where they don't know. They have a lot of fear. I'm telling you, as somebody who knows people that have, you know, came into the countries not knowing anything. I've been to other places not knowing anything. I mean, when I go across state and I don't know what to say, I'm still wary of what I'm doing. Even different states have different cultures, bro. Don't act like that's not a thing. Don't act like different. I mean, something as simple as a neighborhood. When you move into a different neighborhood, there's a culture behind it. There's history to it. If there's history, there's culture. I mean, that's just a fact. But everybody could definitely help change, lower the poverty, because of course with immigration comes poverty, because they are poverty. Nobody leaves. I mean, people move to. Okay, I will say this only in America, because maybe this is it, because we're like, it's a first world country. People have privilege. People usually move to other places, but they don't really move to shitty places. They don't really move to places where there's crime. They move away from somewhere that they really like and they're flourishing, and to move to somewhere else, unless they really have to and their life depends on it.
For whose culture is going to win out, it's going to be a mixture of cultures. You're going to have to deal with the fact that a mosque was erected in your city. Oh no, well guess what? You don't.
Which I am lenient. I will say this, I am lenient. Maybe I might go to hell for this, but I would be okay with that. We have mosques like half a mile down the street. I mean, yeah, I mean, I live in a pretty liberal city. But I can see why. And it would be kind of an asshole to expect everybody to want to do that, because again, I don't like when they say that, because, you know, there's like Islam, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with being diehard about your religion. That's the whole point of religion. Again, there's nothing wrong with being diehard about it and being like, you know, strict about it. That's the whole point, and that's what you believe. That's where your family has been, or maybe you're the first generation. Again, there doesn't really have to be a long history behind it. I respect, you know, your beliefs. Same with if I was Muslim and if I'm Christian, I'm moving to a Muslim country. I can't expect them to build a church for me. You know, I can't, because it would be against their religion. You know, that's insane. That's insane. But yeah.
Don't have to go to the mosque. It's not a crime for it to be in your line of sight.
Hey, reverse it and see, you know, it could be a crime in other situations for certain people. So again, I wouldn't make really religion a huge problem with it. Like, I'm saying I wouldn't really make that the point to die on. Yeah.
Before I go, I want to bring your guys' attention to some lawsuits that recently dropped. Frogan, Denims.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about she's chopped. But yeah, you know, he made some pretty good points. I agree. Again, I really wouldn't bring up religion because, like, dude, there's a lot of loops, a lot of history into that. That it's easier than yes and no. There's reasons why no, reasons why yes. Hey, there's more than that.